Truth about sex. So, what am I talking about sex? Is it something of like a topic that people like to discuss to actually move emotions and get all excited about it? Well, no. The actual reason is that sex is a very important entity to reach to the truth about life, in order to see the truth about life, in order to understand life, in order to have a mind that's capable to really see the reality of this life. We need to have regular sex. And regular sex is something of an importance, not to be started at the age of like 30 and 35. It has to be started as soon as possible. And in the old fashioned manner, that means the young boys and girls, they get married at an early age, and that allows them to actually embrace sex as often as possible. So let's go back one step. I've been always sending YouTubes discussing that there's an important thing for our mind and our heart to follow. Is something called emotional neutralization. Not to be attached to anything in this world. It's okay to love things. It's okay to love your family and your land and anything you want, but not to reach to the level of an emotional submission. Once you reach to an emotional submission, that means I can control you. There is a knob that I can really kind of use so I can control you to my advantage, and then you become emotionally enslaved to me or to the system. So it's very important not to reach to the submission. Once we're able to neutralize the emotions so that we are in control of ourselves, that's an important step so that we can understand life and understand what's really going on around us. But it's not only enough to reach to that emotional submission, the other part is sex. Sex, it's an act of excitation and release. So there's a sexual excitation, and after that, there's a release. It's not healthy to be excited all the time and not be able to release. And it's not healthy not to get excited at all. It's very important that there is a cycle that we follow called the sexual excitement and release. That's called a sexual cycle. And as long as we regularly go through that, we will allow the mind to open up even further. So, with a regular sexual cycle and emotional neutralization together, we may see things beyond. And that's the thing. It's an important thing. It's not only something that is good to have sex. No, it's supposed to be as important as food and water. It's important to have all three of them. Okay, I'm not gonna go to the discussion how are we gonna have the sexual release and sexual excitement, and people question, well, I cannot get married, I cannot have sex before marriage, and there's a lot of discussions. I'm just gonna emphasize on in this YouTube only that sex is not only something fun to have, it's not only important in a relationship, but it's extremely important so that we can see and understand life and be in charge of ourselves. So in the next YouTube, the second part of the YouTube, I would like to talk a little bit more of a sensitive topic about like how can we deal with our ongoing challenges of not having sex and what can we do about that. Anyway, this is only a topic to emphasize that sex is very important. The sexual release is very important. The sexual excitation is very important. And hopefully, in the next part, we will go through more details upon that topic.